Tomorrow, a powerful voice on radio will sign off one final time. Charlie Sykes, conservative talk radio host on WTMJ, has been driving the conversation as we've been driving to work. Sykes is retiring after 23 years on his radio program. He's had influence and sway over conservatives in southeastern Wisconsin, but things changed with the candidacy and victory of Donald Trump. Today, we're looking at the state's political landscape without Sykes' daily voice. We're joined by our editorial partner, Jeff Mayers, president of WisPolitics.com. He's at our Madison affiliate, WKOW-TV. Jeff, thanks very much for being with us. And let's begin by talking about the impact of Charlie Sykes on Wisconsin politics. How large was it?
Oh, it's big. First of all, I wouldn't say he's retiring. He's moving to a new phase of his career, and that's been the hallmark of, I think, Charlie's career. He always brought a writer's, sort of reporter's perspective to talk radio. It was often an intellectual exercise. He often provided the talking points for policymakers on big issues, big conservative issues, school choice, welfare reform, Act 10. And so his departure from daily talk radio in that time slot with, what TMJ says the biggest stick in the state, is going to be that's a huge loss for the conservative movement in this state. And I think there will be a lot of evolution on talk radio and for conservatives writ large in the state.
Jeff, let's name names for a moment. How instrumental was he in the careers of people like Scott Walker or Ron Johnson, people like that? Well,
they ought to be sending him thank you notes in addition to appearing on his final shows, in which they did and said thank you, because I think that during the recalls, for instance, I don't think that Scott Walker would have fared as well without Charlie Sykes behind him. I don't think Ron Johnson would have fared that well in this last election, perhaps, without Charlie Sykes. So they, in many ways, owe him a great deal of gratitude for their electoral success.
Jeff, you mentioned that, with Sykes leaving the scene, there's a question of what happens now in the world of talk radio. There are other successful hosts, especially in southeastern Wisconsin, Jay Weber, Mark Belling, both at WISN. Do they fill the void here? Do they play the same role that Sykes did?
No, I don't think that Sykes, in his, with his brand that he developed, he had a multimedia platform, remember, Right Wisconsin, involved with the Wisconsin Policy Research Institute, TV show on TMJ. So, I mean, I don't think there's an instant fill-in for that. But I think what we're seeing is the TMJ is getting out of the political business or exiting in some fashion, and WISN is doubling down. Dan O'Donnell, I think a lot of conservatives are looking to Dan O'Donnell in this same time slot in the morning. And then I think Mark Belling, we can't underestimate the power of Belling. And then, WISN also has Vicki McKenna and Jay Weber, as you mentioned, along with, the national Rush Limbaugh. So, I mean, it's going to be, they're now the AM talk powerhouse.
And the final question deals with this whole point of messaging. So talk radio has provided certainly conservatives and the Republican Party with a platform to make sure its message is heard by people who need to hear the message. What happens now to that without Sykes around?
Well, I don't think it's like a total loss, for conservatives. They still have places to go and get their message out. But I think what Charlie did was he was able to simplify it and articulate it in a way that not just his listeners could understand, but that, the electeds could understand. They would often echo his own talking points. Not that he was writing them specifically for them, but they took his cues often. And so that was a very powerful thing on some very big issues.
Jeff Mayers is the president of WisPolitics.com, our editorial partner. Jeff, thanks again for your time today. We appreciate it.
Yes, and happy holidays, Mike.
Happy holidays to you, too. Coming up next on Up Front is Governor Walker rebranding himself for 2018.